Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Breaking Bread podcast with your hosts, Brandon and Casey. Today, or should I say this week, as we're gearing into the Thanksgiving spirit, we are talking everything turkey, chicken, duck, pork, however suits your fancy. What are the actual temps? What's some tips and practices that you should do? And also some tea. So if you haven't already, follow us on YouTube, the Breaking Bread podcast, to make sure you actually see the show live as we're interacting back and forth. Other than that, have a good one.
Open nail knives?
No, I haven't.
Dude, these are the best, dude. I found it deep down in my freaking knife case.
Oh, wow.
Open nail?
That's pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah, these are awesome, man. These are, and I totally forgot I had it, but they're like wooden and carbon blade. Really cool.
Oh,
right,
well, I mean, do I need another knife?
Yeah, right. Dude. Well, this one was gifted to me for Christmas. This one was gifted to me.
Okay, then that's okay. I'm at 37 knives, Brandon. I'm trying to keep it under 40.
What? Damn.
I mean,
dude.
You probably just has as much. You have a set of that. You have a set of house. You have a set of at work. You have sets everywhere.
And I have a set in Los Angeles.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of sets, right? Of knives. You don't even think about it. But it's
but you know what? You know what? I've gotten a lot for free. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten a lot for free and for a deep discount. So I can't complain. Like the Miyabi set I have, I didn't pay for one of those. You know what I'm saying?
Really? Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
I didn't pay for any of those. Those were just kind of like the chef that was there before me. He he was leaving the kitchen. He's like, no, I bought those for the house knives. They were like neglected, and I just
for the house knives.
Yeah.
What?
I know, bro. I know, and the thing is he didn't want them, and so I'm like, okay, because they were honestly they were a little beat up, and like the problem is they sent them to a professional sharpener, and listen,
they'll fuck it up.
Listen, yeah, for sure. They grind too much metal off, right? They make the edge too steep, I should say, and with Japanese knives like that, you got to be careful, man. You don't want to grind away too much metal, man. It's like that's the biggest mistake I see with Japanese knives is taking too much metal off, So anyway.
Wow. Miyabi knives for house knives. And here I'm stressing about the $4 knives that we get from like Restaurant Depot or some shit. I'm just
but you know what? You know what? That makes a great point. Listen, if you're a new chef out there, if you're a young chef, do not go spending $300, $400, $500 on knives. Please, for the love of God. So many people make this mistake. Listen. I think it is much more important to learn how to sharpen a knife first. So with that, you want to go to the store. Go online, go to Amazon, buy the Victorinox, buy the Mercer, buy the soft steel knives. So you can, first of all, if somebody steals it or if you chip it or you break it, you're not going to be so sad because it's $40 to $60. Yeah. Also, you need to teach yourself how to sharpen. Now, whatever way you want to sharpen your knife is up to you. Japanese, oil stone, doesn't matter. Electric sharpener. I don't like the electric sharpener though. I bought one and I used it and I tried it and I'm like, I don't like this. And the reason why I don't like electric sharpeners is because you can't control the you can't control the angle.
Yeah, it's literally just fixated on that one.
It's like a diamond steel. It's like a diamond honing thing. Like I don't know if it doesn't really sharpen. I think it just brings back the edge to a bigger degree. But anyway, that's my tangent. So
it's funny you say that. I have one at the house.
What, the electric sharpener?
I use it. Yeah. I use it for the $10 little Mercer knives. But
that's okay. I think for the restaurant style knives, here's a good example. I didn't buy that for me. I didn't buy the electric sharpener for me. I bought it for my co-pilot who doesn't know how to sharpen knives. He doesn't really sharpen knives, and I have a Japanese whetstone because that's what I use. That's what I'm comfortable with. But that doesn't mean I'm going to make him sharpen with a whetstone. You know what I'm saying? So I just needed to fix the solution. And the solution was like, okay, how are these knives going to get sharpened? And I just got the electric sharpener and I used it. I used it on my my Mac knife. That's like my lobster knife, we call in the restaurant. We all got that beater knife. But
the beater knife.
I didn't like it. You can't polish it. I like polishing my edge like really deep. Like I like polishing. I like polishing for like a good 3 to 5 minutes of just getting that razor sharp edge.
Yeah, that was the same. Do you strop too? I strop also.
Yeah, I barely hone anymore. I barely hone. I use a strop and a polishing stone. And, and I'm not saying don't hone. I'm just saying, for me, it's just way more consistent, right? Because if I think what I see a lot of people make the mistake is instead of sharpening their knife, they go to the honing steel and they just try to whack it on there, like,
Yeah.
And this is look. I do the same thing. I used to do the same thing. So what I did as a chef is I removed that from the situation, right? So I would say, hey, don't use a honing steel. Only use a whetstone to keep your knife sharp, right? Like that's what you want to aspire to. Now, if you are like, this happened to me the other day, like if I'm butchering, 25 pounds of, salmon, right? Like I gotta go through and skin and fillet, cut through bones. Then maybe mid session, I'm going to hone the knife real quick just to bring back that edge because I've been chomping on it. But for the most part, I try to stay away from the honing steel. I used strop and the polishing stone.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Hey, so I figure on our 12th episode, right, going into the Thanksgiving for everyone's listening right now, let's talk about some turkeys or whatever have you.
Let's do it.
Personally, in my house, I cook duck, Brandon, for all occasions. So duck on Thanksgiving, duck on Christmas, duck on my birthday, and a ramen, pretty much.
Yeah.
It all revolves around duck. That's my favorite kind of meat. However, I stitched and duetted a few videos that kind of went pretty well, and a lot of people have kind of some reservances on it, especially with the cook temperature of poultry. And I kind of want to get this out of the way real quick because I know you and I will eat it literally at the 140 range. But would you care to explain what is the actual temp? I think that's what people want to get into. What's the actual temp for chicken or turkey to get like the most moist consistency, etc. And then I'll tell you like my 2 cents on it because I believe that it doesn't matter what cook you make it. If you don't let it rest, you already lost the battle. That's my take on it.
Yes.
And I know you're the same, but go for it.
So Casey, I'm glad you brought this up. And I will say on air that, bro, I eat my chicken. If it's a really good bird, like a good example is those heritage birds from D'Artagnan, dude, I'll eat that pink, meaning like 140, 145. I'll let it rest. Let it rest as long as possible and then retherm because that's the best that you'll yield the best texture. A good example is and I'll just use this. This is a good reference. When I meal prep and I do sous vide chicken breast, I cook it all at 145. Okay.
Yeah.
145. And then my wife knows who she eats. She's team dry chicken. Okay. She is not
dry chicken.
Bro, listen, she is not. No way, dude. She temps it at 170, 175. Temps. Yeah, bro.
Wow.
But for me, good example, I'll slice it right out of the bag and eat it. I don't mind that hue of pink. I don't mind it undercooked because I know that I cooked it properly. And here's the thing. Usually what I do is after that, I'll adjust the temperature to meet, her demand, which is like 149. I'll adjust the temperature. She knows to cook it more. But in all honesty, I will cook myself the bird. I'll eat it just like we all like it, all chefs. But here's the thing. It gets tricky when you're serving it for somebody else, right?
Yeah, because for like a customer.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing. If I were in the restaurant, if I were cooking a private dinner, I'm cooking the chicken thoroughly. And meaning I'm going to cook it. It's not something I ask for a temperature. I cook it all the way through. I cook it well done. And yes, I do sacrifice the texture. I do sacrifice the juiciness. I do the best I can to try to put up a perfect product. But here's the thing. You have no say in how other people want their meat cooked, right? So I think that's really important. So as chefs, a good example is Casey. Like right now, if you're in a restaurant, you're the chef in the restaurant, the cook puts up a pink chicken, not pink chicken, sorry. A chicken. It's perfectly cooked to you, but you see pink around that airline bone. Right? You're going to immediately look at that and say, okay, hey, that needs to go back in the oven. Or, okay, I'm really busy. There might be a chance this gets sent back. That it's either one or the other. So I think it's okay to eat chicken, whatever temperature makes you feel good. For me, that's 140, 145. I'm like a medium-ish. Rosé pink is what I'm looking for. But if it were for my wife, I'm cooking it extra dry because I know her preference. Like dog, I'm talking crumbly.
My wife too.
I'm talking crumbly.
Yeah,
son.
my wife too.
Crumbly. Okay, like
My
you can pick up
wife
the
too.
chicken breast and squeeze it, and it crumbles. Which, listen, it's fine.
That's,
And I had this conversation with somebody who posted on TikTok. He posted he posted a chicken breast. He cooked it to 140, took it out, and then proceeded to let it rest, and then cut it, put it back into the stir fry. Dude, it's perfect. Like, that is ideal. I was like, hey, listen, that is 100% the way I would do it, but I wouldn't go telling other people to cook their chicken 140 degrees. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even though it's like, you just have to be willing to fight back. You have to be willing to and honestly, it's not something that I really want to argue about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to spend my time going back and forth with people on the internet about cooking chicken. And it's funny because my most recent experience with this was great. This is a real life experience at Seisan. Okay. I came up with this chicken dish, and for Chef Joshua Skeens, okay, I cooked that chicken pink, bro, just like I would eat it. Bone still bloody. Okay. Bone was still seriously, it was pink. And he's like, this is perfect. This is how we need to serve it. And I'm like, hey chef, I'm with you, but we cannot serve chicken like that in the restaurant. He's like, we can't.
Yeah.
He's like,
it will get returned.
I was like, it will come back. And then the culinary director agreed with me. And at the end of the day, it was his decision. He's like, no, we're going to serve it like this. This is how it should be served. And I said, okay. All right. Okay, bro. I'm ready.
Here we go.
Dog, first, every single one came back. Every single one.
Yeah.
Every single one came back. I said, hey, he's like, well, it's not cooked perfectly. I'm like, chef, I hear you. Allow me to do this. Dog, put it back in the oven.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I pulled it. It's cooked. It's crispy. It's fine. Dude, went it out. And so what people think it's delicious, right? When they have the chicken and it is what it is. Like if you get a piece of fried chicken, right? You go to KFC and you get a piece of fried chicken and it's pink in the middle, dog, you're going to freak out, right? You know why? Because you don't know where this chicken came from. You don't know how it's processed. And here's the thing, man.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like a double-edged sword when talking about this, but I'm curious to see what you think about it, Casey.
No. So I was gonna chime in on the team dry chicken. Whenever I bring chicken home, especially like chicken breast, my wife will fucking fillet it in half.
Yep.
And then pan fry it more.
Yep.
And then she's like, microwave. I'm like, babe, are you fucking serious?
Dude.
Just dead. Dead to all deads. I'm just like, you know what?
Yeah, because
it is what it is.
Because I think that truly, and listen, my wife does the same thing, dude. She does the same thing. Not like, ain't even no question. When it comes to my kids, she pulls out anything that has to do with pink. She'll cut the shit and she'll cut it in half. She'll put it, but dog, the microwave is just, and then after that, she'll chop it up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and here's the thing. It's like, okay, do I want to sit here and fight with my wifey? No, man, let her do her thing. The first time we met, I made this sous vide pork loin with smoked guacamole. Delicious, bro.
I'm gonna get into pork loin too.
140. It was beautiful. It was nice and pink. She looks at me and she's like, I know we just met, but she's like, do you mind if I put this in a saute pan? Can I cook this more? And I started laughing. I'm like, what? It's perfect. Like, I'm thinking in my head, like, dude, she's gonna love. I just got this sous vide machine. Like, she's gonna love this pork. Yeah. But in her mind, pink pork is death. Okay, it's just
yeah.
Hey, like when I eat bacon,
I totally get it.
When I eat bacon, like I love extra crispy bacon, but there's also something about that medium to mid-well chewy bacon that comes out of comes right out of the saute pan, right, with that little piece of gristle on it. But man, for my wifey, nah, bro, nah. Son, if there was a deep fryer, she would deep fry that bitch until it was, crumbly.
So dead. I know. That's why I don't want it. So here's the other one where I don't want to get a deep fryer because I know my wife is like, nope, not done yet, all the way down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? That's a little excessive.
It is.
I get it though. So for my experience in the restaurant, we actually just recently retired the airline chicken special. Maybe I want to say like a few weeks back, and we were cooking chicken 155. And I was telling Chef, I was like, hey man, Listen, I prefer this literally at 135, 140. I'm completely fine. I know you're not crazy about it, but like when we were both opening together. I'm like, you can still see pink. I'm telling you, and we have old people outside.
Yeah.
They're gonna freak out.
Yeah.
It's gonna get sent back. Like, why don't we just cook it all the way to 160?
Yep.
Let it rest
Yes.
at 160, and then proceed. Like, no matter what it is, it's literally gonna hit 165.
Yeah.
It's fine. You're cool. He's like, well, let's try it first. Bro, I'm telling you, that service Friday, it's like 80 people. 47 of them came back.
Yeah.
At literally every dish came back. And I'm just like, see? I mean, I didn't want to say I told you so, but
so you know
what's
what's
another
funny?
4 minutes in the oven?
So you know what? This brings up a great point, Casey. And I did the same exact test. And this was in Las Vegas. And I remember I was cooking, my sous chef wanted to cook the chicken breast sous vide for the salads. And I'm like, hey, that's a great idea. Fucking perfect. Right? Well, guess what? I set the circulator to 165, just 165. We're good. Once the internal temp comes to 165, we're good. Finish it in a saute pan. So he wanted to cook it to mid-rare, 135. And I'm like,
oh, okay.
And I'm like, okay, but that defeats the purpose of pre-cooking it for a busy service.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because then you have to double cook it. And he's like, well, no, chef, come on, it has to be perfect. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, listen, you're gonna die on this hill. You are gonna die on this hill. Not
You're
me.
gonna die.
I'm like, not me.
Got it.
You're gonna be on Expo. I want you to see, because this is very important for your career. Seriously. And I'm like, listen,
nice.
Out of 100 people, this is what I told him. Out of 100 people, you might have 2 or 3 complain about dry chicken, right? And if you know what I'm saying, out of 100 people, you will have 60 to 70% complained about undercooked chicken. And I was like, so that is your percentage. You do it. You do it, man. You have to let people fail. Listen, dog. First one came back. First one came back. Not even minutes, dog. I didn't even step on the line yet, son. First one came back. Because when you're thinking of a salad, think about this. When you're thinking of like a chopped salad or a cold preparation, and you have hot chicken, Doug, I'm sorry, but you cannot serve it pink. And trust me, I have eaten it. I've eaten it, dude. The other day I smoked a turkey breast, and throughout, it was for me. I pulled it at 140 degrees.
Got it.
I will show you. It is fucking pink.
Perfect.
It's pink. It's beautiful. And I shaved it cold, and I'm like eating it. I'm like, dude, this is amazing. I can't believe people don't eat turkey like this. And but let me tell you something. I served the same thing for lunch, and I cooked it. I cooked it longer. I cooked it more for somebody else. You know, because I'm like, I don't want to take the risk. They're not going to complain about the turkey being dry. They will complain about it not being cooked. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's what it is. The mindset.
We're going to take a field trip real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
No, we can still say live.
Field trip.
I just got to.
So
we really cook.
So Brandon's actually cooking right now.
Yeah.
He's literally cooking as we're doing this podcast. So how do you feel about turkey then? Now, I know you said 145.
Oh, look at
the restaurant, I cook it to 150. Hey. Oh, you got wood and everything. Oh, you're I think you click mute for a second. I can't hear you. There you go. We're good.
Pellet smokers versus offset smokers.
Pellet smoker
versus offset smoker. I can't believe like people get so bent out of shape when people want to use a pellet smoker. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I would argue. So you see, I got my wood chunks here.
Yeah, I see your chunks.
And then so basically, but I think what's really important is you have to make sure the logs are lit. When you hold on, I'm gonna put you down for a second.
You're good.
But yeah, that's looking good, bro. Okay. Yeah, got the nice airflow. It's looking nice in there. But I think
I prefer that actually on besides the other one. I don't know. I guess it just depends what you want to do with it, you know. But like, I guess for general purpose use, like just the thing underneath it would suffice you just fine. But if you're smoking and for longer terms, I think the offset would be even better for your uses. But yeah, man. So I was gonna say turkeys. What do you do? Where do you cook your turkey to?
Oh, let's just turkey for sure, 135, 140. And then what I do is I let it rest, and then before I serve, I reheat. Right. So okay. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. So here's a good comparison. If you overcook turkey, you're done, dude. Like
Yeah, you can't go back.
super dry. But here's the thing: if you cook it perfectly, you could have a delicious product. So, highly recommend brining. And what I do is I roast it or cook it. However, like on the smoker, I have it at 250 right now, 250, 300. And I'm not going to check the internal temp. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hot hold it inside my oven at like 170 degrees and let it slowly rest, like almost cook sous vide in the oven, covered up in butcher paper. And I'm going to let it cook all the way until it reaches 155, right? Like just slowly though, like that's the thing. That's the key to success, especially when there's bones in it. So I have it spatchcocked right now. And
spatchcocked, yep.
Yeah. And, the thing is I just like it spatchcocked because you pretty much get a really even cook. The only thing is the breast will cook before the legs. So I always take the legs off first, finish them, you know what I'm saying? And then the breast, remove, take out, you're all good. But, that's why it never made sense to me to cook the turkey whole, right?
Yeah. I did it in pieces.
It never made sense to me. And it never made sense to stuff the turkey at all. Like,
I don't stuff either.
Don't waste the time. You want hot air circulating in that cavity. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Peking duck. I'm going for it.
So the Peking duck, yeah.
No disrespect.
You need air into the inside. Cannot be closed. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not going to reach.
No. Well, here's the thing. The thing is I've cooked mucho Peking duck a lot. I mean, a lot. Like we're talking at least over 70 to 100 birds. And over time, what I realized is stuffing the inside is a waste of time. One, I used to stuff it with orange, scallions, ginger, onion. But guess what? When you want to really dry outside the skin, you want the skin to be dry as possible. So you need to let it hang dry for at least 2 to 3 days. And when you have vegetables and all that stuff inside, it starts to ferment, especially garlic and onion. It'll start to ferment. And then it says, okay, we'll add more salt. No, like you don't want to do that because here's the thing. The way I do it now, and that's another thing I want to talk about, Peking duck. Like, would you eat it pink or would you eat it thoroughly cooked?
Pink, rare, please. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny. I got a great story about this. So basically with the Peking duck, what I realized is don't sew it up. You take a little bit of hoisin and you take a little bit of salt. And I'm actually extra. What I do is I weigh out the bird. Then 2.5% of that weight I use in salt.
Of course you are.
Yeah, I use in salt on the inside of the cavity. That way, it will never be over salted and it'll be perfect every single time. Anyway, hoisin salt and then rub the inside of the cavity, then open the legs up, right? So airflow can get in there. And anyway, so I was cooking Peking duck at Seisan, and it was so funny because I cooked this bird like rose pink in the wood fire, wood fire. And let me tell you something. It was so delicious, Casey. Amazing. And because you can eat duck mid-rare. You can eat. Actually, matter of fact, I would argue that duck like medium rare to medium is the best way to eat it, right? Unless it's like comfy duck legs, right? And I cannot eat a piece of well done duck, straight up anymore. Because once you've had it cooked like a perfect rosé, but not where it tastes irony like bloody, but it's like perfectly cooked, dude, it's amazing. But it's funny because
I go even less. I like rare. I like that texture, guy. I really
like
do.
Like a bear.
Yeah, I'm like, that feels so good.
That's funny.
It's just a texture thing more than anything. But definitely mid rare.
So then you should do my duck prosciutto. I make a duck prosciutto. That's
oh, do you do a prosciutto?
So good,
bro.
So good.
Right now I have I just bought not a turkey, but I just bought a duck. It's frozen. It's defrosting now. Yeah, $24 from the Asian market. Okay, and then I'm gonna dry that out till next week. Yeah, I already made space in my.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna be honest. I'm telling myself here, but I usually buy the duck breast to make the prosciutto, and here's why: because you can get a 10 to 12 ounce duck breast. You know what I'm saying? And you want to get the jumbo one because when it shrinks, when you make the prosciutto, it shrinks like crazy, and you won't get a big slice. So like if you were to take the breast from that carcass, it'd probably be around 4 to 6 ounces, and you would end up with the 3 ounce freaking
It'll be just like
Yeah,
a little foie gras, please.
yeah, but it's really easy to make, man. I'm surprised at how easy it is to make, and I actually love it. I love it. Duck prosciutto.
Do you do question for your when you're drying the skin? Do you do the red vinegar, the hot red vinegar and oil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. No, I do. So basically, I do a dip. I call it the duck dip, and it's basically water, sugar, vinegar. You know what I'm saying? Some aromatics. And then you do this like for 2 rounds and you just tighten up the skin. And then you let it air dry like above the range with fan air circulation for at least an hour, hour and a half. Then you put it in the fridge for, for like a day or 2. You really want that skin to be dry.
Yeah.
And you can't do it fast. What I realized is you can't like put it on the fan. So because the duck skin is so thick, if you put it on, like if you put a fan on it, like I've done, try to bum rush it before. The problem is the outside gets too dry, and then below the skin, like below
it's
where
still kind of
the other side is still like moist. So the best way I figured out to do it is to literally put it in the fridge, and then 2 to 3 days with proper circulation, and you get a nice dry bird that is easy for roasting. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be. I'm excited for the duck. But anyway, so turkey, we pull it at 142. At the restaurant specifically.
Yeah.
Let it rest on top, and then we tent it. That will come up to whatever it is. It'll take like, I don't know, 20 minutes to rest. We slice, out it goes. Literally just like that. Yeah. Nice and easy. It will forever be moist. I'm telling you right now. I don't think so the video that I stitched, the creator was mentioning about the little pop-up thing inside the turkey when you buy it. You know, he was like, throw it out. You don't want to.
Yeah.
It will go to like 180 or whatever.
Yeah.
I agree. But he goes, you have to cook it at 165. I'm like, I don't think so. Yeah. That's where I disagree.
So, you know what's funny? When I worked at Hotel Bel Air, we actually, I would get the turkeys 2 weeks in advance. And I would butcher them down. And then what I would do is I'd take the breast, and honestly, I would cook them sous vide, 145 degrees. But
of course,
pull it at 140. And then for service, you leave it in the bag. And then literally you take it out of the bag, and then roast at 420.
Oh, salamander?
Yep. No. In the combi. High fan.
Oh, in a combi.
High fan, high moisture. The breast, combi. Just the breast at 420 for it took 9 minutes to reach to an internal temperature of like 150. And we would serve it like that. We would serve it like that.
Perfect.
And it was perfect every single time. And
well, you also have a combi oven.
Yeah, the combi oven is a game changer. Because you can put the thermal.
A combi oven is
dude, I tell people now, if you're gonna open a freaking restaurant or a property, if you don't get combi ovens, you're wasting time. You need to have a combi oven.
Yeah, you need to invest in it. It really is. It makes a difference. The first time I worked with it was I was in this catering hall, and they just put the pieces of the meat in there, like the briskets, literally everything. Everything had a temp, and I'm like, what is going on? They're like, yeah, it has a probe. It's fine. Everything is programmed. And that blew my brain. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, we're going to leave this overnight. It'll do its thing. Next morning, perfect. And then literally all the stuff was just like perfect temp, as it should be. The oven shut off when it needed to, because everything is electronic. And then I was just like, what is going on? I don't understand this process. And combi oven. So I'm like, well, now we have to clean it. They're like, nah, bro, here, check this out. And then the little tablet pills, like the little soap things. I'm just like, wow. How much did this cost? They were like $20,000. It's expensive. It's a pricey thing.
But it's worth it, man. It's worth it.
Definitely worth it.
Where I currently work, I was like, yo, we need to have these. And I was like, dude, we got them. Like, it was crazy, man.
Yeah.
But it's worth it, though, man. I got to be honest. It's worth it. The only thing that's not worth it is the smoker attachment. I just paid $1,200 to put a smoker attachment on this thing.
Smoker attachment.
I fucking hate the wood chips, dude. I hate wood chips. Smoking with wood chips is like the worst. It's the worst. Anyway, turkey.
Hey,
so anyway, that's how I'm doing my turkey.
I have a few videos, real quick. Let me pull it up here. And then I think you really appreciate this. Give me one sec. Wait. So this is coming from two professionals. We know what's up, but people don't understand this. So this is Ramsey's restaurant again. So real quick, let's play this. Hold on. I don't want to blast your eardrums off.
Charging $3.50 for that. Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't pay it. I told her. Hold on a minute. I didn't come up with the prices. Charging 20.
Now, essentially, that's what, 4 pieces or 3 pieces of U10 scallops. It looks like it, right? $25.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's like maybe an appetizer, if that. I mean, I'd pay for that. That's $25. That's pretty decent.
That's reasonable. Listen, those scallops, I'm sure their cost is probably $3 to $4 a piece.
Yeah.
Like, especially if they're really good, high quality scallops flown in from, look, I'm going to be honest, Maine has the best scallops, dude.
Maine has the best scallops.
Maine, Massachusetts, Boston. I was getting them like they were so delicious. But here's the thing. You can also get IQF frozen diver scallops, and they're filled with water, and they wouldn't taste as good. I didn't see any liquid on that plate, so I'm assuming those are fresh scallops, which in all honesty, I think that's a good deal. I think, $25 is nothing. I used to charge $38 for 4 scallops. Yeah.
But most of the comments are like, "Oh my God, it's so expensive. Large scallops should only cost, etc." And then, but what people is not understanding is this is a restaurant. You have to pay for the restaurant. It's not just the scallops. Obviously, you can buy fucking scallops cheaper if you just go to the store, sure. But you're not paying for the fucking dish. You're paying for the experience.
You know why? It's totally our fault, man. As America, we have literally people associate with Cheesecake Factory, McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, where I really wish they could see where this food came from. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, I'm not going to lie. And I use this example all the time. When we had the Cloud Kitchen, my brother and I in Philly, he looked at the invoice for Burger King, right? And he looked at the cost of goods, right? And for their bun pan, which is a speed rack of hot dog buns, we're talking $4. Do you know what I'm saying? $4 for probably 98 dozen buns. Okay.
It's crazy.
Like, that is crazy. Where like I used to make homemade brioche buns and people miss that connection. So it's like, you want the less than 4 cents bun, or do you want the homemade brioche bun that actually has butter and cream and sugar and fat, and it's homemade? And it's like, people don't understand that. They see a burger bun and they automatically associate cheap, right? But I could go to you and say, hey, let me make these milk buns for you, right? I'm gonna make these Japanese milk buns for you, and you'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'd pay $12 for a dozen, right?
Yeah,
or I'd pay $12, no problem. See, everybody is used to seeing the little freaking ballpark hamburger buns on the Safeway shelf for like, $2.99.
Safeway shelf.
Dog, my G, that's just the way it is. So as a chef, you look at that plate of scallops and you're like, okay, what am I looking for? If I'm going to pay $25, I'm looking for the scallop to be fresh. I'm looking for the scallop to be cooked perfectly. I'm looking for something to not overpower the sauce. Yes, the scallop is cut in half, but honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nicely seared too.
Yeah,
chives.
That's a nice dish. I think he should have. They should, if they would have plated that a little bit differently and added more of a vegetable, right? That salad, like that salad. If it were like if they used a rectangle plate, they lined the scallops up like sushi style, and then put the salad on the other side. Maybe add a sauce, the ramekin. You know what I'm saying? Instead of drizzling on the plate, maybe the ramekin on the side, show more value. Something crispy, then I think it would have been okay. But in all honesty, I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at this at all. And I think what people have to realize is we are going to pay more for food. And it's only now that
ain't much.
It's only now that people are starting to question where their food comes from. A lot of people don't give a fuck. A lot of people don't care, man. I mean, you can go to the McDonald's drive-thru right now and feed a family of fucking 6 for $20. You know what I'm saying?
Easy.
And, and like, I'm not going to lie. McDonald's gets me every time we go to, because my kids love the Happy Meal. You know what I mean? But guess what? They barely eat the food inside. Barely. You know what I'm saying? They eat the fucking bun. They'll eat the bun and they'll eat the French fries. They'll eat the chicken nuggies. But like, we're not going there to eat as a family. You know what I'm saying? Because we know the difference. Yeah. But I'll be honest, man, they get you with that Happy Meal, bro. The kids, man,
I know it.
I wish they would just sell the damn toy. Just sell me the toy. I don't care about anything else.
It's marketing.
Just sell me the toy.
They're so good at it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, hold on. I got another one here, Brandon. I'm team this, by the way, just to let you know. So I'm about to pull up a pie video.
Okay, good. I'm gonna be team no just to piss you off.
Look at this. Goddamn shame. Don't be looking stupid like a deer caught in the headlights.
Look.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I know you're crazy. I actually eat my pie like this.
No,
I do this all
listen,
the time.
you know-
Like right in the
you know
center
what?
first.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
My
I'm
wife's
not
like,
mad
"Can
at
you
that.
stop?"
I'm not mad about it though. If we were in a restaurant and I'm serving this for service and somebody
we'd be
ate out of it,
pissed.
I'd
We'd be
fucking lose
pissed.
my mind. But in all honesty, like Casey, you know what people do in their own house is what they gonna do.
It's their
And-
own. I know.
And honestly, that's pretty. And I know it's like I probably would have yelled at my wife too if I saw that, but I think it's totally fine, dude. I don't eat my pie from the
My wife
center.
don't.
I don't eat my pie from the center, but it's funny because I know a lot of people that do, right? And it
Yeah,
triggers people.
I know.
True.
This is more for a triggering thing. Okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm telling you right now, this for me specifically, I eat my pie from the center in.
Yeah,
From the center.
that's okay.
From the center, from the center out.
Yeah, that's
All
okay.
right, got a couple more here. So we're talking about pork on this one, right?
Okay.
You briefly mentioned 140 on your pork. I like 135 on my pork. Again, I really like the mouthfeel, man. I go for, I don't want to say rare. You're technically fine at 135 for pork.
Yeah.
As low as I can get it. Like literally.
Honestly,
as much as
I'll eat pork loin and pork. What's up, Eric? Culinary Misfits.
Yeah.
He's cool people, man.
Culinary
I love Eric.
Misfits.
All right, go ahead.
All right, here we go. Check it out.
This is a tomahawk pork chop. Done in the sous vide, 2 hours, finished off in the cast iron skillet.
Pretty standard. Salt, pepper, garlic.
Yep.
In the bath. And then he just literally pan sears it.
Yeah.
And then it comes out. So again, 140 is this thing. I get it. I know a lot of people. My mother, oh my God. Can I mention this to you? My mother wants this shit so, oh my God, butterfly.
She would have butterfly.
Butterfly.
She would have butterflied that joint.
Butter on it. Literally as
She would've
thin as you
pounded
can.
it
I'm
out.
like, Ma, what are we even doing? Like, don't even ask me to cook. Like, what am I cooking it for you then? Just cook it yourself. Why do I have to do this? 135 for me. I know 140 for you. But can we just explain why though? Like,
So that's
to our
a
listeners?
lean. That's okay, yeah. So commercial pork, especially, you can eat mid rare, no problem nowadays. It's not even a problem, right? Like I'll be honest, I like my I know this is controversial, but I like my barbecue ribs, my barbecue pork ribs, especially baby back. Dog, I like them with a little pink, man. I like them with a little chew.
Ooh,
I like them,
of course.
I like them with. I like it.
Hey, man.
Like, bro, you know why? I went to, and this is off topic, but I went to this Chinese barbecue place. I shouldn't say that, but I went to in Chinatown. I went to this barbecue place. And their spare ribs are chopped, not spare ribs, baby back ribs, chopped, and they're quickly stir fried, right? So they're cooked to like medium-ish, but still on the bone. And I swear to God, I loved it. I was like, dude, this is great. I'm so used to eating barbecue ribs like fall off the bone. And guess what? I don't necessarily agree with that anymore. I like the chewiness, the texture of the rib. I don't know. It was really good, delicious. But anyway, pork nowadays,
I think that's
pork
what it is.
especially. Yeah, pork now, especially nowadays, you can eat pink, no problem. It won't kill you. But here's the thing: I'll be honest. I cook my pork chops. I'll cook my pork chops at 135, 140 is perfectly fine. I would probably go less time. I would go. That was a thick boy though. That was a thick ass pork chop. So that's what
pound and a half, maybe 2 pounds. It looks like.
Yeah, I don't. A lot of people got to remember. Like he said, a tomahawk, so it had to be like. It was probably big. I would.
Yeah.
That's why I try to tell people, like, when you're cooking sous vide like that and you have a big cut of meat, if you just stab the bag with the thermometer, right? You can get the temp real quick and then just put a piece of tape over it and put it right back in the bath. It's totally fine. I do it all the time. But I think the thermometer to check the internal temp of whatever you're cooking is perfect. Yeah, I'm cool with that. But listen, you can cook. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I just had pork chops recently. I made katsu, and now I'll be honest, bro. I don't like my pork overcooked, man. I don't. I fried it medium, and it was perfectly fine. I was trying to go for mid rare, just overcooked a little bit, but it was so delicious and juicy, and it was nice. But like for my children, I'm cooking it all the way because you have to be. You know what I'm saying? It's not safe for them. But and same thing with beef. With beef, you can't give children ground beef that's not cooked all the way through. But like, my wife, man, forget about it, dog. Team dry, son.
Team dry. I know. Same with my wife. I can't do it. I'm just like, can we just like medium? She's like, nah.
No, not happening. the slightest bit of pink, that shit is going in the microwave back in the saute pan. She's going to add water and she's going to put a lid on it. I swear to God, I've seen it. And
oh my goodness.
And listen, I swear to God, even when I made the pork chops, the butterfly pork chops, she cut it, looked into it, cut it more, cut it, kept on cutting it and put it back into the saute pan. Was like, nope, there's juice. Nah. I'm like, okay, babe. I'm like, listen, I'm not going to fight you, man. I don't like it.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's to each their own, right? However you want to eat the food, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
We don't all have to argue about it. However you want to eat it.
I think
cool.
I think you know what's more important to me, and Casey, and I'm sure you can agree with this, is I'm more of a stickler when it comes to fish.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
You're right.
I just opened a can of worms, right? So like for fish,
yes.
I'm gonna stand firm and say when you're cooking a piece of halibut, when you're cooking a piece of salmon, when you're cooking a piece of sea bass, doesn't matter. Skin on, skin off, doesn't fucking matter. Like, if it is piping hot, it is overcooked.
Yes. Absolutely.
If it's piping hot, it's overcooked. I'm like, dude, listen, I will cook you a piece of, and it happens all the time where I have people complain about fish overcooked or undercooked. So in the restaurant, I would ask for a temp, right?
Oh, and wow, you would ask for them actually.
Yes.
I get it.
Okay. And here's the thing. So we transitioned to the server would say, hey, just so you know, the chef prepares the Alaskan halibut about medium to mid-rare. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Yeah. And then they would say yes or no, because then the decision's on the customer. And I'll be honest, a lot of people like their fish moist and delicious. But if you cook a piece of halibut to 165, you might as well put it in the can.
Dead.
Like I like my Alaskan halibut, the thick pieces, dude, 120, 125 max.
Oh yeah.
Salmon, I prefer to eat raw, and I suggest people to order it mid-rare to medium. I don't suggest going over that. For the Emily Mariko video, I was so pissed because I wanted to follow her recipe. Like I wanted to see like, okay, what's all this hype about? And I ended up cooking the salmon to like medium, pretty much cooked through, right?
Yeah.
And I regretted it because I would have much rather had that dish with raw salmon, poke style. It would have been so much better.
Up. I know.
Dude, I don't even like cooked salmon anymore, man. I like salmon raw, sliced. I like fucking sushi, man. I love it. Like I don't like tuna cooked. I prefer fish raw, man. And like that's just my preference. I know some people that will not.
I think that's most of us, though.
Yeah,
most of us in the industry.
Yeah, and like I think that Emily Mariko dish, I wouldn't have put mayonnaise on it, but I like the sriracha, and I would have preferred it raw, to be honest, like a poke bowl, straight up,
like a poke bowl.
Yeah,
straight up. Bowl. So for pork, technically 135, you're safe. CDC required right now. Also, in terms of chicken, technically you're done at 140, like straight up.
Yeah. From
their website, you're fine. However. And this is where the big however is, or the but. It's all your preference. If you want the dried feel on your tongue, on your mouth, the texture, cook it however you want. It is what it is. We would prefer, when I say we, Brandon and myself, 140. It still has the texture, still going to be juicy. Fully rested. That's the second part to that. Fully rested. Can't be just cooked and then plated to you. The juices didn't even have a chance to reconstitute itself.
And you know what? I've done that test before. So I've done the test of not resting steak and chicken or not resting a protein. And I've done the test of taking it straight from the fridge and putting it into the saute pan. Honestly, you'll be surprised. You know how a lot of people say to temper the meat. So when I started at Hotel Bel Air, there would be piles of meat outside, like on the piles. And the problem that I have is if you don't sell it, then you have to put it back in the fridge. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And then like there's this weird skin on it. It's just fucking weird. And then the next day it's pulled out again. And then it's like this process starts all over again. So we did a test. We took a porterhouse and we cooked it from lukewarm. And we cooked it from ice cold. And I will argue that the cold one tasted better. And let me explain why. And like here's the thing. Like I don't think it makes that big of a difference by leaving it room temp. That's just my personal opinion. Here's the thing. I will tell you one thing. It was, we developed a lot more caramelization on the outside because the internal temperature wasn't so high. So I would say if you need to cook something faster, then room temp it, right?
Temp.
Yes. But honestly, I think it's all hypothetical. Here's a good example. I cooked a tri-tip the other day, and I left it out room temp just because I knew I was going to cook it that night. But I didn't leave it out room temp for the purpose of leaving it out room temp, right? I just left it out room temp, and I think there's some grounds for debunking there, right? So.
I don't know. We don't let it rest in our.
No, you go straight from the fridge, right?
It's whatever.
Now here's the other thing. Like same thing with like whole chickens, whole birds. Like letting it come to room temp is cool, but like I think letting a piece of fish temper at room temp is more ideal than cooking it from ice cold because it's a super lean protein. You just want, you want like jacuzzi temperature when you go to check it with the fish. I use a cake tester. When you go to check it, you want it to be like a little bit above hand washing temperature, and then you're good.
I got one more video here, Brandon, then we're pretty much. I follow this guy. He's pretty cool. His name is Drew Albert. I'm pretty sure you've seen his videos.
Oh yeah.
All over the internet. But to close, this is one of my favorites in terms of restaurant. But this guy just literally owns this side of TikTok. But I'm gonna play it out right here.
Hey Pickles, can I ask you a stupid question?
There are no stupid questions. What you got?
Is there gluten in the bread pudding?
Oh, that is stupid.
Oh. So is there?
Get the out of my kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah. So
there's no stupid questions. But ask him anyway.
I know this is satire, but I started my career being really aggressive and confrontational and egotistical, right? Especially when I became a sous chef and a leader. And now I think I'm more along the lines of like trying to make the servers feel like I am their security blanket. You know what I'm saying? As a chef. And I know this sounds kind of stupid, but I feel like as a leader, I want people to want to work for me opposed to the other way around. And so I'm not going to lie. There are some food runners, some servers, some freaking busboys. Like they just don't give a fuck, dude. They don't care. Like, let's be honest. They're more interested in what's happening after work, right? Like, this is just the way it is, man. And like, in that type of job, being a server or a food runner or busboy, although it is a career now because of the tip pools, when I was cooking, it was just a transitional job. You know what I'm saying? And so I used to get some dumbass questions like that too, man. Like the biggest one for me was allergic to like eggs and dairy being in the same category. Right?
Yeah. Oh my God. I hate that shit too.
I'm like, dude, dairy is not eggs. Dairy is not eggs do not come from a fucking cow. Like, it's not like, but then you also have those people that are like the fake vegan, fake gluten-free. That shit pisses me off. I'm sorry. Like, listen, when you go to a restaurant, and I'm sure you can agree with this, Casey, when you have a dietary restriction, then you get put on the forefront of like, okay, but don't complain about the fucking dish. Don't complain about it. If you order the dish, dairy, gluten-free, no sauce, do not complain about the goddamn dish. You just you made your own dish, okay? It is not chef curated anymore. And trust me, I've had that happen before. Where people hop on Yelp and like, they just rattle off like, oh, this salad was not good. This was not, I wasn't impressed, blah, blah, blah. But then I saw a manager, and this shit went viral. I saw a manager hop on there and they were like, well, this is your ticket right here. Like you created your own menu. You took one set, added it to this. Like this is completely you. And we customized it to meet your needs. This lady was dairy-free, gluten-free vegan. Okay. No sauce.
Good job.
No sauce, no spice. Okay. You know what she got? She got a mixed green salad with freaking shaved vegetables. Very straightforward. I would have served her the same thing. What she ordered. And she took the vegetables from one dish, put the vegetables with the other dish, combined them on the plate. Of course you're not impressed. Of course. So all I can say is, and you see it nowadays, you see like restaurants in San Francisco where they're just like, we're not meeting any dietary restrictions. We're not. Sorry.
Yeah. Can I share a story with you? This past weekend, Saturday. This lady ordered. Now, granted, it says on the menu right before you come in, make sure you let us know beforehand. Okay, we're not gonna.
Yeah.
We can't just make it for you on the fly because it's a tasting menu to begin with. Everything will come as is. least to say they didn't let us know first. She is tree nut allergy and dairy. Bro, Brandon, half of my menu or half of what Chef approved is 70% dairy and tree nuts in it. So what am I supposed to serve this lady? Literally just seasoned like potatoes and beets and vegetables on top. And then she was complaining. She was like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Ma'am, I not to be rude to you." So the first course came back. The server brought it back to her. She's like, she's really upset. Can you talk to her? And I looked at my partner. I was like, "Yo, I'll be just right back. Let me handle this." I go to the front. I speak to her. I was like, "Ma'am, let me just, before you speak, I would like to just reiterate, okay? I understand we would try to accommodate you for today. However, if you didn't like the first course, the next 3 courses that you're going to have all will have dairy and nuts in it. And I'm going to have to admit that I can't prepare something new for you. So I'm going to do you a favor right now. Either you leave right now. It's only 7:30. You can still go to another one of the restaurants, or just pay for your meal and then we call it a day. That's it. Just the one course. Cool. No ifs, ands, and buts. We have a good day." She said, no, it's okay. We'll sit through it. Yeah. Okay. And then, I don't know. I didn't hear from there after that. So
unfortunately, man, it's the way of the world, man. And it's like, what people need to understand is like, if you have dietary restrictions, it's fine. So like when I worked in the hotel, we would have like things ready to go for dairy-free, gluten-free, vegan. And this is a part of it. And I totally get it. Like my wife is gluten-free right now. She can still eat gluten. She just chooses to stay away from it. But guess what? When she goes to the restaurant, she looks for things that are gluten-free and then orders those items, right? And that's really not the big one. But I think what's really important is take in consideration, like when what people don't understand is when the chef is on the line and the cooks are already on the station and it's already set up, man, we ain't got time to fucking do anything else.
I don't have time to make you another fucking execute. That's all we gotta work on today is execute, and then you're gonna take my time to customize a dish for you that you didn't let me know beforehand. It was just a rough day. But anyway, I guess they left happy. I have no idea. None of the dishes came to her had sauces in it because everything had almonds. Our vinaigrettes are all spiked with almonds. Any of the like combined combo dishes have dairy in it. Either Parmesan or cheddar or whatever. Like I couldn't. So everything was like 20% of what the dish is. And I'm just like, this is so unfortunate. It felt so bad serving this plate, but that's what she ordered. That's what she wanted.
Everybody thinks they have their personal chef back there. Oh man. Nah, dude. Nah, that's not how it works, man. Yeah. I remember when I was at Hotel Bel Air, we had this one guest who he would just make up his own menu. Wow. It was crazy.
That's fun.
And so in the middle of the freaking dinner service, like, "Chef, can you make this curry dish, blah, blah, blah." And I'm looking, I'm like, dude, this is like, I don't have a body to do this. Like, who do you think is going to make this? Like, I need to, run this restaurant. But anyway, it was a very easy fix for me. I just got him on the phone and I said, hey, this is Chef Brandon. I'm like, listen, I would love to make this for you, but 7:30 on Saturday night is not ideal. Can you please pre-order? I was like, can you just pre-order, or is this what you're going to have for your stay? We would be more than happy to accommodate, but this is how we need to do it. And see, sometimes people just need to be told what to do. You know what I mean? And then also you have to be realistic. Like, I literally said, okay, I can't make the curry sauce, but I can give you this potato, I can make you this stir fry. I can do this. And I immediately said what I can make, the time it's going to take. You know what I'm saying? And then you let the guest make the decision on what they want. And that's how it works. But
that is how it works. But yeah, not too crazy. That's all we got, Brandon, for our Thanksgiving episode. Obviously, tune in for any of the following content, but you can follow Brandon and myself on TikTok at Chef Authorized, at Chef Salty, and any of the good stuff. Make sure you tag us. Make sure you let us know any recipes, any questions, literally any questions. But also, if you really want some drama, though, you can attack me and we'll go back and forth. Let's go. I'm in for it. Okay, I'm here. I got time. But other than that, we out.